Hola mis serenitas, welcome to my channel. It's your girl Chiquita Serenita, and today we're doing swatches, a tutorial and a review, and even comparisons, because I do want to compare this palette to something else, of the Natasha Denona's new bronze palette. This palette, I had such a hard, I have like a really love, I don't know what to expect from this palette. It's like a love-hate thing right now. If I'm basing my overall experience that I have gone through today, I'm not liking her right now because the first initial eye look that I did with her, this black, I keep calling it black and it's not a black. It is this deep dive color right here. So this is her in her entirety. Very pretty bronze, neutral tone, you know, palette. But this dark color right here, I keep wanting to call it a black, but it's actually a dark espresso brown, and it is a shimmer to top it off, you know, to top it off on everything else. It's a shimmer. So shimmers are not really easy to work with brushes, tend to work better with fingers. So I had the hardest time with her. So initially on this side, I did the same transition shade that I did right now. And then I went in with this color right here called Bliss. She was my second shade on my first look. And then, because I don't know what the hell I was thinking, I decided to use Deep Dive. And Deep Dive as my right here, my corner. And then work her a little bit across and then down here. What happened was, I don't want to say it was not blending out. I think it was just blending out too much. And then it just became this muddy mess all over my eye. It was too much for the entire look. It overwhelmed the entire eye. And then she has the potential to take over. And she did with me. She took over the whole entire eye look. And it just looked like I might as well have just been wearing black. That's how I look, like a dirty pirate. Okay? I'm being honest. Like, it looked horrible. So what I did was I wiped my slate clean here. I took off that eye look and I just decided to redo it. Now, you guys can imagine when you wipe off your eye with like a makeup wipe, the rubbing gets to you. And then you put on more eye primer, and my skin was screaming on this eye. So I had to like redo the entire eye look with what I'm wearing right now. Second time around, it's just okay. This first time it was a disaster. I didn't record it. Don't even ask me because I didn't. Okay? I'm not doing that stuff twice. I already did it with the Night Owl. I'm not getting a whole bunch of dislikes for showing a crappy eye look. This time was just okay. So I'm having the same little experience that I had with my Night Owl. What the first time was a disaster. Second time was just okay. And now I'm rethinking my whole life choices right now with this palette because Natasha Denona. Let's just do some swatches. I'm going to start off with this one. It's called True Copper. It's a very pretty color. I used True Copper all over my eyelid. Like, this is the True Copper color right here. So it's a very pretty bronze tone with like just, I want to say like a deep orange, maybe a smidge of red. It's very pretty. And then next to her we have Suntan. Suntan was my transition shade. I love Suntan though. That Suntan was such a beautiful color. I mean, I loved Suntan so much I used her twice. One with the disaster first time, second time with this, okay? It's a really good transition shade. Next we have Sundown. Sundown's such a pretty color too. Look at that. That is just one eye swatch. This makes such a pretty palette, I think, for someone darker skin tone. Definitely, I think it'll work for everyone, but I'm just saying that deep dive color, like, you guys be careful, okay? Just be careful with that color, because that color was like, it'll either make the entire look or destroy the whole look. That's the trouble I had with that color. Next to that Sundown color, we have that deep color that I'm saying. Like, look how dark. It might as well be a black, right? It is this super dark, creamy espresso brown. Natasha Denona's, I'm not sure if it feels like a cream to powder. It feels like it's just, I mean, it might be a cream to powder, but right now it feels like a super buttery shimmer that goes on top. I think it's a cream to shadow. That's probably why I had so much trouble with it. I'm not really good at cream to shadow formulas. It has a potential of getting just overwhelming my entire eye, and it made it look muddy. It looked horrible. I can't even show you guys because I didn't take a picture, nothing. I wanted no evidence of the crime, okay? Next to that, we have Rhodium, right? A mineral, right? Rhodium, something like that. Rhodium. I'm going to beat myself up because I'm going to look for the pronunciation later on. I'm like, I couldn't. This one's such a beautiful color, though. It's a shimmer. It reminds me of like this brown, like brownish purple, sort of. I don't know. I like it. It's very pretty. In the next row, we have Magma. Magma is a color that I used on my entire, I used her right here and all over my bottom lid. Of course, I mixed her with a little bit of that dark Deep Dive right here just to deepen and smoke it out. So I did use Deep Dive both times. But the first time I used her straight on, and the second time I mixed her. You know, you like water down the Kool-Aid. You got to put some water in that pigment, right? And then you bring out the flavors by adding some sugar. Next to that, we have High Degree. I love this color. It reminds me of this reddish copper tone. Very pretty. Just look at that. That is such a beautiful color. I love that one. It's just buttery smooth. We have Alloy next to that. And this one is a gold orange almost. Very pretty. I didn't get to use her today, but she looks beautiful. Next to her, we have Ridge. Ridge is another matte. I don't think we have a lot of mattes in here. This is another yellow tone. That is just one swatch right there. Perfect transition shade. This is another swatch. So it's still a very pretty color. I can still use that color for myself, and I know somebody else can too. This one next to that, we have True Bronze. True Bronze is what I used for my inner corner highlight. I love this color. It reminds me a lot of the one from Colourpop, the Good as Gold palette. They have a color in there similar to that has like this chunkiness of foil in there. Except this is the color you want without that chunkiness of foil. So it's very blinding, in your face highlight. Very pretty. I still love that one. I had no problems with that color, unlike that dark brown. In the next row, we have Gloaming. I thought it was grooming, but it's gloaming. That's a weird like word. I don't know how to explain that one. This one looks like a duochrome. It looks like this dark bronze pink with like a pink shift to it or gold shift to it. It's very weird to explain, but it's not a bad color. It's really pretty. I actually wasn't expecting that because it looks nothing like that in the pan. That's what it looks like. And then you look at it right here and it has more of a pinkish tone, right? It's really weird. Then we have Palladium. Palladium. I'm sorry if I don't know how to pronounce these words, you guys. I'm not a genius like that. That's a very pretty color, though. Look at that. It's like this it's like a mauve nude, right? It's like a light bronze, but with this nude on the nude side. I don't know how to explain it, but it's very pretty. I like it. She literally has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mattes, and the rest are all shimmers. And then next to that, we have Bliss. Bliss is my first look that I used. I used her as my second color. She's a very pretty, on the pinkish side though. She doesn't look, she looks like this duochrome of peach and gold in there for some reason. This is a bronze palette, and I just thought it was funny that they added that color because it looks, she looks definitely on the pink side. She doesn't look bronzy at all. Next to that, we have Silk. Ooh, Silk looks so nice. Like definitely a peach. Like a light peach, goldish tone. Very pretty. I think I could have used her as an inner corner highlight. She would have been so pretty. It's really funny that in the pan, True Bronze, this one, that True Bronze color and this one looks so similar, but once you swatch them, you see that they're not actually similar at all. So in the pan, these ones, those two bronze that you see right there, that are lined up. And then this one right here. They look super similar. Like all three of these look the same. But when I'm swatching them right now, they look nothing alike at all. Same thing goes for these two right here. They look so similar in the pan. They're like maybe only 1 or 2 difference. And then now that I'm swatching them, they actually don't look similar at all. Which is surprising because like I said in the pan, like I thought I was like buying a palette with the 3 different same colors. Next to that we have the last color in here. And this is called Beach, you guys. I kept thinking peach, but it's a beach. Very pretty. Look at that one. That's a perfect transition shade too. Definitely. I don't know. It would still work for me. These are all like warm tones, which is great because they complement tan and darker skin tones, definitely. But like I said, I had so much trouble with that deep dive, the dark espresso brown, that I would seriously be so careful with that color. You guys just be very careful with that one because it has a potentiality of taking over the entire eye and making it look like a muddy mess. I mean, the look I created today wasn't bad, but like I said, this is my second look. The first look, I had to completely wipe off my eye because it was that horrible. I'm not joking. Now, I don't have anything on my lips, and I literally bought one thing from her collection. I just bought the Natasha Denona Lipforia Lip Gloss and Balm. So there was 3 of them, I believe. There was like a caramel one. I wanted the caramel one, and then I wanted this one. But in the end, I ended up just going for this one because I was like thinking, I already have enough lip glosses in my collection. I don't really need like that anymore. Yeah, so all I bought was this color, you guys. I didn't buy the other 2, so I'm just going to swatch this one. And I'm going to put this one on because I have nothing on my lips and I really want something on my lips. Just eyeballing it, it's very pretty. It's like a dark chocolate brown. You know what's funny? It has like a minty smell. Like a peppermint smell. This would have been perfect for her collection for Christmas. Before I put this on, I'm going to put on, this is from my Retro Paradise lip liner. This is from e.l.f., right? e.l.f. Retro Paradise. This is the darkest chocolate that they have for a lip liner. If you guys hear a little bit of background noise, that's just my 1-year-old. I gave her my phone so she could watch YouTube on my phone. And right now she's watching Trolls, so I'm hoping you guys can't hear it. But if you do, I apologize. This is super dark. I love it. I love this color though. I don't like the smell. It's a clear peppermint smell, and I don't like it because I don't like peppermint anything. Apart from the little round candies that we have, you know, during Christmas time. But other than that, I don't like the smell of it, really. I don't like the what is it, like the chocolate, the drinks that they make with peppermint in it. I don't like peppermint ice cream, none of that stuff. And there is a clear, tingling peppermint sensation on my lips. Like right now, my lips feel like they're cold because you can feel it. It's smooth. I don't even know if anybody's mentioned that. There's a clear mintiness to this. It smells like peppermint, and you could feel the like that cooling sensation that peppermint when it gives you in your mouth, you know, when you're actually eating a candy, and you have that menthol sort of like rush coolness to it. That's what it feels like on my lips. Other than that, it's really pretty. The color is super chocolatey brown. It's very vibrant. It's comfortable. It's smooth. There's no stickiness to it at all. I love the color. I just don't like that. Why on God's green earth would you add peppermint to a chocolate lip gloss, Natasha? Why? Why? This ain't Christmas. Why would you add peppermint to chocolate? I'm done with this shit. Okay. So, like I mentioned earlier, I had such a hard time with the Colourpop Night Owl. Okay, here she is in all her horrible glory. I wanted to compare her to this. Because I had such a hard time with her the first time I used Colourpop Night Owl. It was a muddy mess. And I had the hardest time with Tweet Tweet. Tweet Tweet is the color that I had the hardest, like the worst time with. And that's why she reminds me so much of Deep Dive. But right off the back, I can tell Deep Dive is so much darker than that Tweet Tweet from Colourpop. So I know they have no comparison in there because look at, you could tell the clear difference. They're both dark, but one is clearly a darker espresso brown. And the other one is just like this khaki brown darkness to it. I don't know. I don't like that those two colors in there. Deep Dive, I did use it today, but like I said, I patted her on and then I buffed her out with a brush. So I used her very, very lightly in combination with another color. When I tried to use it the first time, I went full on with that color and it blew up in my face. I don't recommend it using it like that. So be careful with that one. And then we had, I want to do this one to see if I can find a little comparison to this one because this was actually one of my favorites from that Colourpop one. And two of them, like right off the bat, like just eyeballing, look similar to this one. True Copper would be one of them. And even then, True Copper is way different, you can tell. See, one has a more reddish tone. The other one has a more orangey tone. Then we have Gloaming right here. Ooh, Gloaming, it doesn't look... So they're, you can tell, you know, they don't look alike, but just wanted to do that real quick. And then I want to do a real quick Bird Brain right here. I mean, it doesn't really make a difference, you guys. You guys don't have to see this part because it's not like you can get... I want to compare it to Palladium one. And you can tell they don't really look alike. It's not like it makes a difference right now. You can't find Night Owl unless you find it on Mercari because it's sold out on the Colourpop website. And Sea Stars right here reminds me a lot of that color Beach from over here. So I want to do a little quick comparison too. I just wanted to compare them honestly because I had a horrible time with both the first time. And the second time it was just okay. And then no, they're not alike. So you guys get it, see? But other than that, this palette I love. I don't hate it, but it's not the best. Can you make a whole bunch of colors with it? Like obviously a bunch of looks, yes you can. But just like I said, be careful. Be very careful with that one. She didn't come to play. She came to take over the entire eye and make you look like you just got beat up on the streets. I don't know how to best explain that one, but it was just this horribly muddy mess on my eye that I could not blend out to save my life. So other than that, if you guys want to see how I created this look, because the disaster look I did not film, okay? So if you want to see how I created this look, then just stay tuned. Okay, you guys, I'm going to go in with this color called Suntan right here. And it is my transition shade that I used. It's a very pretty color. I had no problems with it. Okay, for my next color, I went in with this color on top that's called True Copper. It is a shimmer. Let me see if I could turn it around because I don't want this mirror messing with the lights. I'm going to do it like this. See if that works. It is like it's a copper color. It's a shimmer. I had no problems with it. Now, I have really like a confession to make, so I'm going to just say it right now. I'll probably repeat myself in the beginning of the video, so you guys are going to hear this like twice, if you make it this far. I started off with originally using Bliss as my second. I still use the same transition shade for this eye. And then I went in with Miss Bliss. Miss Bliss was wonderful. She's a perfect color. She's not bad. It's really pretty shimmer. Where I made a mistake. Where I messed up. I use Deep Olive. Now, no, it's called Deep Dive. This dark color, you guys, it's so dark that honestly, I couldn't. She overtook the entire, like, look, the entire eye look. And I don't know, maybe I'd have to find a way to make her work because honestly, as of right now, this palette is looking like it's not on good terms with me right now because that was horrible color. Like it just, I had to take the entire look off, like my eye, like wipe it away with a makeup wipe and start from scratch. And in the end, this is what I got. But I'm just letting you guys know that is not the original look. The original look came out horrible. And I didn't like record myself. I kind of wish right now I would have recorded my eye just to let you guys know this is not what to do. But I didn't do it. I just like took it off and I started anew. So this is my second shade that I use. It's still a very pretty shade. I just decided to change it up the second time because I figured maybe it was just the combination of the colors that I used for my eye. Honestly, I can't tell you guys if that was it or if it's just the formula is really bad. I don't know. Right now, Natasha, you're not on my good list right now. Like, you're seriously already with the Love palette. What I had to deal with the Love palette too is starting to come to realization with this palette, and I'm just wondering if it's not just her, it's her formula, it's the way she makes these shadows. I'm not saying they're not blendable, it just, some of her colors tend to be too much in this palette. That's the darkest shade in this palette, and it was so pigmented that it just completely overwhelmed the whole eye look. I think maybe on someone darker, I don't think that would really, it wouldn't affect them in the way it did me. In the way it did me, it just made it look too much for my eye. I looked weird. I wish you guys could have seen it, but I was like too embarrassed. I was like, I'm not going to do that. I've already done it before. I'm not going to do it this time. So, no. I'd rather just tell you guys to be careful when using that color. So, for my next color, I went in with this color called Magma, and it's like this, I want to say it's like a neutral orange tone brown. So it's I would say it's the second darkest shade close to that Deep Dive, which the Deep Dive, I think what's wrong with it too, on top of the fact that it's the darkest, it's not a matte, it's actually a shimmer. And shimmer seems to be like more concentrated, more pigmented, and they're kind of hard to blend out. That one, it wasn't so much the blending, it was just the more you blend it out, the more it went up and up and up and around, and just, it totally bombarded my whole eye look. It might have to do with blending, or it might have to do with just the fact that it's a freaking shimmer, and it was like I couldn't blend it out to save my life, and it just took over, and it created this muddy mess on my eye. Maybe it's that, I don't know. So I went in with that Magma color, and I just like tapped it in this corner right here and a little bit across. And I just found that this color, being the second darkest one close to that really espresso brown, this one was actually better and easier to work with. As a dark shade, it was better. It was more easier for me. And I did rub it all on the bottom of my eye. Carefully, of course, but still, it was still dark. It still had this darkness to it, but at least it was better to work with and easier to work with than that really dark black. I want to say it looks black, but it's actually like a dark espresso brown, but it was just super, it was just too potent for this palette, I think. I think Natasha could have left it out, honestly. But I think on someone darker, that one would work so good on someone darker. I think it just, honestly, you guys, on someone lighter, it might not work at all. And on me, I think I could probably find a way to make it work. But even then, it just like took over my whole eyelid. It looked like this horrible muddy mess on my eye. I'm like wondering, how in the heck am I going to make that work? That was like the only... And honestly, this is giving me Night Owl vibes. So in the beginning of the video, I plan on doing a comparison to those two. I had such a bad experience with the Night Owl from Colourpop, you guys. I'm not joking. Similar experience to what I'm experiencing with this palette. And it just gave me total Night Owl vibes. So I want to like do a comparison to the colors in here. Maybe the color scheme is just off. I don't know. It might have to be that I'm not experienced either, so there's that. Now, just to darken it, you guys, I did go in with that same Deep Dive, the one that I said that I had a horrible time with the first time, because I like looking for ways to incorporate them either way. So I took that dark Deep Dive color. I'm thinking the first time it was too much for the eye, it overwhelmed it. So I took a little bit on my finger, and I literally just like lightly tapped it on the bottom of my lid, and then I used that brush just to sort of soften the color up and mix it in with that dark red tone brown. And then it created like this smoky look without overwhelming the eye like it did originally on this eye. Because I'm telling you guys, that was like a hot mess. So definitely, I think that just that color is maybe super, super pigmented. And it has the potential to just create this muddy mess. So I would say like go very lightly on it. And I did the same thing right here. So I just like lightly tapped it in right here. And then I used that brush to just like soften it up so it's not so... I wanted the depth, you know, like the deepness of that rich color. But I just learned, I learned the hard way the first time. You don't want to overwhelm with that color because it will look like an ugly mess. So, oh my god, you guys, it was horrible. I look like a dirty pirate. I'm not joking. It was horrible. I just looked at myself like this. I'm not saving this. What am I even doing? I just had to take it off and then start again. And you know how horrible it was to take it off, you guys? Like my eye was raw. It was I had to rub it all off. And just doing that, you know, when you're taking your makeup off, when I had to put more primer on, my skin was like screaming at me. Like, no, you did not just take off something to slap some more on, right? I think that's why I would never do 2 tutorials in one day. I try to do, if I'm going to do like a tutorial or even a review for any palette that I have, I stick to 1 per day, or at least my goal is 1 twice a week. But I would never try to push myself to like 2 in one day, because I don't honestly think, even though I don't consider myself having sensitive skin, I don't think my skin could do it. My skin would scream at me like, what is wrong with you? I'm going to go back in with my transition shade, that suntan color, just to soften things up a bit from this dark brown, espresso brown, however you guys want to call it. That's what it is. I'm going to reincorporate some of that True Copper shimmer shade that I used, just to add it back in right here. I'm going to add some more of that reddish brown that's called Magma right here. Just, I want to create like a softness between that shimmer and this dark right here. I don't want it to really like be so harsh between the 2 colors. Okay, you guys, for my inner corner highlight, I actually went in with this color right here that's called True Bronze. It is a shimmer. It honestly reminded me of that Gold Flake formula from Colourpop, the one that's in there, Good as Gold. I was thinking it had like, it looked like it was chunky, like it had those gold flakes in it, but it was actually not. I was like happy with it because I was like, wow, it's not the same type. It looks like it is, but it's not. And it turned out so pretty right here in the corner. Like, I think it just complemented the look of the colors that I already had on my eye. And I did rub a little bit across, that created, it made it look like just gold. Really pretty. And that's pretty much it for the eye. I'm just going to add my Tarte Big Eagle mascara on this eye. And then I'm going to use my BH Power Pencil in black on my waterline for both eyes. And then when at the beginning of the video, because I only have one of her lip glosses. This is their brand new Lipforia. That's the color I actually bought, I think. I didn't buy the other 2. I just didn't feel the need to. We'll put those on in the beginning of the video. So let me do that, and I'll be back to give you guys a close-up of my eye look. Okay, you guys, this is the finished eye look today. Hopefully you guys like it. Like I said, this palette is really not easy to work with, and it has the potential of getting really ugly really fast. So let me back you guys out and give you guys my final thoughts. Okay, you guys, I'm back. All in all, I wouldn't say it's horrible, but I'm not super in love with it right now. Like I said, I had a really hard time the first time trying to do this eye, and it's kind of good that I did it. I always have a habit of doing one eye first. That way I can get a feel for the palette before I show you guys how to do a look with it. Because if I would have shown that first disaster, I'm pretty sure I would have wasted an entire day of recording just to show you guys a disaster look. And I think that's the same problem I had with the Night Owl. I started doing it on while I was filming, and that's something I did put on the internet. I did put it on YouTube. And I had so many dislikes with that look because I'm going to be honest, it was horrible. It was horrible. And the second time I used it was when I did my eye look only. And I used it and I put it on my YouTube because I was doing swatches for, I believe, the Natural Born Stunner for Morphe. And I did just my eye look. And the second time around, it came out okay. It was just okay. It wasn't the love of my life. Oh, I need this neutral palette. It's going to change my entire life. I'm going to have it in my collection. No. That night, I used it twice. And first time it was a disaster. Second time it was okay. And I kind of want to give her a second chance before I pass like an ultimatum right now. Because if I'm going based like right now, I'm going to tell you I don't like it. I'm going to tell you that right now is just okay. She's not wowing me. And the first time was a disaster. So it's looking like Night Owl. And I want to give her, if you're considering my first time a disaster, because that was my first time, then I'm considering this my second look. So I want to give her a third try. But other than that right now, like, her colors are not ugly by any means. They're really pretty. Very bronze tone, neutral tones in here. I can't wait for swatches because honestly, eyeballing 2 look exactly the same, and 3 of the shimmers look pretty much like they were born from the same mother. So we're gonna have to see swatches, you guys. But that's it. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified each and every time I upload a video. And until next time, stay warm, stay blessed, and stay magical. Bye, you guys.